and goals. And so this is going to be about discovering and digging up. So we're going to start right now. We're going to use journaling first, and then we're going to get into a physical and energetic practice. So let's get going right now. Welcome, everybody. So this practice is going to be about, we're going to be standing up the whole time. So I was trying to decide if we were going to start seated or standing up. We'll start like this. This practice is going to be about finding our values and goals and looking at what energy of life matters most to us and what values are being unexpressed and underexpressed within our life. And a lot of times when we think about these things, we'll call it like a wish list or just like what we really desire to do. A lot of times the negative mind gets in the way and says things like you can never afford this, or you're not good enough, or you don't have the talent, the skills, the network to make this happen, maybe in another life. And there's all of these excuses and reasons and limiting beliefs that come up. And the purpose of what we do today is not so that we're planning for the future. This is about excavating what's important to us. So, just to give you an example, let's say that you work all day, every day, and maybe you have a really good job making a lot of money. And we do these exercises that we're about to do, and you discover that you actually really cherish and love music and producing music. And maybe it's something you haven't done since you were 6 years old or 6 to 12 years old. You used to do this before life happened. And so we will discover that in these exercises. And once again, the point isn't to create the life that we're going to dream about and that we're about to dream about. The point is to figure out the desires and the values and the goals that we have and see if we can align our current life more towards that direction so that we're living in a more whole, satiated, and satisfied way so that we can bring our best self forward into this world as a unique expression, and a unique expression that's expressing the unique devices and desires that we all have. So I've got a few questions, and then we're going to be getting into a physical and energetic practice having to do with a lot of movement that grounds us. We're using our legs and feet. We're standing almost the entire time. A little bit of breath, but a lot of full body movement. So first question, if we journal this out, we're going to take 2 minutes. So we don't really need to, and you can pause. If you're watching this recording, you can pause and take more than 2 minutes. But the first question is, if there was no fear, what would you be pulled to be doing with your life? If fear wasn't a thing, what would be happening in our life? So we can start the sentence with, if no fear, I would be fill in the blank. Next question. If you inherited $900 million tomorrow, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing today? Well, I guess if you inherited it tomorrow, what are you doing tomorrow? And so, if money wasn't a thing for you anymore, if you didn't have that as a worry, if you didn't have that as a metric that's important, um, what are you doing with your life? And if you don't know where to go, just go more specific. So, if you're like, I would buy land, right? Like, just go more specific. Where? How much? What does it look like? We're going to move on. This is just getting the surface, right? We could obviously be here for 30 minutes journaling about this one question. We're going to just get the surface level, like what's actually in the front of our psyche. What direction are we going immediately? And so the next question is, what have we been putting off or postponing because we tell ourselves it's too immature or unrealistic, something that we could maybe never achieve? So, what are those things that we tell ourselves no? Right? Like there's a pull inside, but we just say no and we justify why it's a no. And so write down some of those things right now. And then the last question, what do you desire more of in life? What do you desire more of in life? Get down the last few notes here. And so, as I was saying earlier, this isn't so much about planning for the future or setting up an expectation or an attachment to what we've written down. This is about excavating the values that are important to us. So as we start looking at this story or this list that we've weaved together here, start asking yourself, how can I incorporate some of these values into my life now? And I gave you an example earlier. If music came up, being a musician, but you're working too much, is it possible for you to put 20 minutes into your routine every week? You know, maybe it's Saturday morning that you're doing that. And so ask yourself the question, what could I be doing to be more in alignment with what I wrote down here? It doesn't mean that you're doing what you wrote down here, just what is in alignment? Can I adjust my life to be in alignment with what I created, what I excavated here today? So just jot down commitments that you can do. And let's come up into a standing position as we get ready to do our practice. Okay, first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be grounding. We're going to be working with the gravity that we can put into this earth, that we can express with ourself. And so as we stand here, attempt to make yourself weigh heavy. So put all of your intention into your feet and into the weight that you have onto this earth. And even though you don't, according to the laws of physics, you might not actually weigh more, see if you can feel yourself getting heavier into your feet. You might shift around your hips for that. See if you can really ground into your feet. So you're putting your feet heavy. And towards the end of this practice, we're going to levitate. We're going to lighten up the body. But the most part of the beginning of this practice is about grounding into the earth. And so we're going to be doing this practice to build heat, build stamina, to activate the body so that we can express what we just wrote down. And so we're going to be starting in a squat position. So it's going to be a deep squat. So however low you can get, like as low as you can go. And we're inhaling to this position. And then we're going to be doing 5 pulses, 3, 4, 5. And then we're exhaling up about halfway. And we're pulling our chest open and elbows back. Now, what's important is that we're not arching the back. So we want to be straight spine here. We're inhaling down, holding the inhale, or inhaling as we're doing 5 pulses, and we're coming up and we're rowing something with our elbows, opening up our chest, but that spine is not arched back. And we're doing this for 3 minutes. So let's go inhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5 pulses, exhale up, pull your elbows back. Once again, this is about stamina. So we're going to do this for 3 minutes total. At about the 90-second mark, I'm going to give us a way to change this movement up. It's a alternative way. Now, once again, paying attention to the heaviness of the roots of our feet. Feel heavy in the legs, heavy in the feet. This should be easy to feel because we're actually going down into the earth. Inhale on the way down, and then exhale, elbows back, chest open. We're 1 minute out of 3 done. Okay, what we can do if we want to switch it up is step one leg behind the other as we go down, and we're still doing those squats. And then we come up. This is waking up the legs. Without our legs and action, everything remains in theory. And theoretical isn't where we live on this earth. We're actually in reality. We have 45 seconds left. One more on each side. Inhale down. 5 pulses. Exhale up. Good. Stand up. Once again, check in with the gravity of the body. Is that energy going down, rooted into the earth? And as you do that, you actually feel the earth pressing and matching that energy back up. And as you guys do that, you can just glance at me, but you just stay still for now. Imagine doing like a cat cow where we're arching and rounding our spine. We're going to be doing that. We're going to inhale, open, exhale, round, but we're also swinging our arm around as we do that exhale. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Now, the important thing is that once again, the feet, the grounded nature of ourself, as we're doing this expression of our arms, which we use as devices to manipulate reality, to move things around, as we're doing this full expression of the arm, we want to feel the rootedness of our legs be balanced. So it's really easy to go all the way on one side and be light on the other. So this is about making sure that we can express the chest. And then as we start to round the spine and reach out, we're rooted on both legs. And we're coming back in on the inhale, expressing the chest, swinging out, being rooted into the floor. Now, this is about exploration. So let's go ahead and begin. Inhale the chest, swing that arm out on the exhale as we're rounding the chest, keeping balanced in the feet. Movement happens in our spine. And so I'm mentioning expression because expression means to push out or up. The actual word means that. So we're expressing the totality of what the spine has to offer by going in different planes of movement and also adding a container of restriction by keeping that rooted nature of the feet. Make sure you're pressing into the earth evenly with your feet. You're exhaling as the chest comes forward. You're inhaling as the chest comes forward, exhaling as you reach and extend. Doesn't matter if you don't look like me, we're all going to be unique expressions of the movement. And if our spine isn't moving, we're not moving in life. And so a total expression of the spine is going to allow that. Close your eyes if it's comfortable and balanced. We got about 30 seconds left. Do one more. Good. Come to a standing position and find stillness, find your center. So now let's put the focal point in an area about 2 inches below the belly button. And just allow the breath to fall there. and root your body into that place. So instead of into the earth, we're rooting into the center of our body, 2 inches below the belly button. So you might feel the tension or the weight of the gravity of your arms and even your legs and feet are now coming in. It's coming in to our body. This might actually feel lighter on your feet. Feel the inhales, that gravity comes into your center. You're vacuuming the gravity into your center. Let's bring our feet together. And what we're doing here is we're going to angle the toes out. That's 1, heels out, 2, toes, 3, heels, 4, toes, 5. Make sure that you are able to maintain this position. Play around with your pelvis. Make sure that that's square. Imagine your pelvis as a bucket and you're keeping that bucket of water with as much water as possible. If it's tilted in any direction, water pours out. So that's your pelvis. It's a bucket. And we're squatting down as low as we can while holding that bucket stable. And we're just staying here. And we're lifting our arms up. So the arms are going to be up about 45 degrees off to the side, towards the front, and up. So 45 degrees up and off to the side. And we're feeling our palms bringing that same energy we were feeling in the center of our body, 2 inches below our belly button. We're drawing energy in. Our palms down into our arms and down into that point below the belly button, below the navel point. Well, it is the navel point. And then same thing with the legs. The legs are drawing up energy, drawing up gravity from the earth. We're bringing it into our center. If you feel like you need to move the feet in closer to feel this, to be more comfortable, go ahead and do that. Don't let the movement be distracting. Find focus on your navel point, your navel center. It's drawing in like its own gravitational field. "20 more seconds here. Take one last inhale, pulling gravity into your navel center. Come back to standing, hands on that navel point. Reorient your body so that that center is what's pulling everything into it, like the center of your galaxy is coming into this point. So we're going to take some steps here. And as we do, we're going to be pulling up the opposite hand to the knee. And you're going to make contact. So imagine an electrical spark happening as your palm hits your knee. And as we step around our room or outside, we're going to be switching that contact point in the legs and the hands. So we're switching as we take steps. And once again, the focus is on that navel center. So just to give you a premonition of what's next, we first were rooting everything down into the earth. Now we're bringing the gravity inside of us, and then we're going to start working on levity, lightness, and we're going to be expressing up through us and out. So right now we're still drawing energy in. So for 3 minutes, and really make that contact point happen. Like you're pressing your knee into your hand and you're feeling it here in your navel center. You can walk backwards and forward, or you can just walk forward. If you walk forward and you're in a room, just go into a figure 8 so you're balanced. And every step we're feeling that navel point. This is also lighting up and balancing out both sides of us. Some call it masculine, feminine, Ida Pingala, yin yang, light dark. If you notice, I have one hand on my navel point as the other hand is doing the work. This is activating the part of the brain that has to do with motion. A lot of our crisscross patterns are about movement. It's how we walk, it's how we run, it's how we jump. We have a little bit over 1 minute here. You may notice there's a lot going on to think about and to focus on. And that's getting rid of the other distractions. It's hard to think about the bills and what that person said about us when we're focusing on this. So if it's an overload, it's by design. And the practice is to be able to expand your awareness to all of these things we're focusing on: the leg lifting, the leg grounding, the navel point, the hands. What's the rest of my body doing? Can I do this with my eyes closed? We got 15 seconds left. Can you do this with your eyes closed? Okay, back to hands on navel. Feel that point 2 inches below your belly button. Press it in. Unlock your knees. Root into the ground just for a second. Push into the ground, into the earth. And then now release that and let the gravity come into that navel point. Now release the hands from the navel point and still feel gravity. Things are coming into your center. If you have something around you to grab onto, whether it's a wall or a strong piece of furniture, we can do that, or we can stand in a stable position. We're still rooting into our center. So we're doing a strong exhale. And as we exhale through our nose, we're squeezing in the root of our body. So the the perineum, the sex organs, everything down at the root. We're squeezing that in up into our navel point on every exhale. And on the inhales, we're letting it relax. So it'll be similar to a breath of fire, but not so fast. We're just squeezing on the exhale and then letting the inhale happen. And we're here for 3 minutes as well. Find a comfortable position and let's begin. We're almost to the halfway point. We're exhaling as we squeeze gravity and tension into this area from belly button down into root. And then we're relaxing on the inhale. We have a little bit under a minute. Let's speed it up. If you're pregnant and or on your moon cycle, just go ahead and keep the same rhythm. 40 seconds left. 3 more. Breathe normal. Check in with the body. Notice. Observe. And now let's loosen everything up. So we're about to give ourselves some levity. So just loosen the body up a little bit. And let's start on our knees or in a comfortable position, seated. You could even do it on a chair. You could do it in lotus position if you had that. So just like we were pulling in gravity on the inhales, start noticing your inhales. And as you notice your inhales, feel lightness. Feel lightness from, let's go, navel point up. So from your torso up into your arms, into your head. Can you feel lightness on those inhales? You start to feel weightless. And once you feel like you really are able to lighten your upper half of your body, go ahead and slowly rise up onto your feet and see if you can maintain that levity. On the inhales, you're becoming lighter in your entire body. You're lifting yourself up. And from this levitated place, bring back that exercise we did in the beginning of this practice, what we wrote down. And from this lightened place, observe, gain a perspective, a higher perspective on what you wrote down, on your commitments. Feel into it from this lightened, levitated place. And from this new shifted gravitational position, what small shift could you honor within your life in reference to what you wrote down earlier? What small shift could you honor? So let's bring this energy. So on the inhales, let's bring this back down into our body. Bring your gravity into your center. And as you work with this ability to shift your heaviness or your lightness, it's like another dimension that opens up to you. You can get really grounded into something and feel the weight in your feet. You can focus on that, or you can draw in energy into your center and move and be mobile with the weight of you in the center of your being, or you can relax the attachment to the earthly realm and gain a levitated perspective that's not so buried into reality as we know it here in the physical realm. Thank you guys all for practicing with me. This was interesting and fun, and I'll see you next practice. All right. Dun 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 dun.